talk about a new disturbing trend that's taking place in Orleans Parish. The district attorney is seizing businesses, black-owned businesses, but mostly, or I should say, they all small businesses. Okay. Yesterday he took two properties: a tire shop, uh, and a little restaurant. Okay. Now this is the second tire shop he took, and they citing, like, they saying, oh, but we arrested a guy for vagrancy on that corner, we stopped a guy that had a small amount of drugs on this corner, and they're using that as an excuse. And as you see, these are other places that were seized: the London Lodge Motel, which by argument was a bad place. It always was a bad place, but that's not why they shut it down and seized it. They seized the property because University Health, what is it? The whoever owns that big hospital, University Health Network, wants that property. They're building something on that property. It's close to the new hospital. They shut down this. They seized, took this whole building here on Aberville Street, which is in Tremay, right outside the French Quarter, which is a gentrification area, high dollar value. They're going to get like $1 million for this building or close to it. They took this tire shop. This was a popular 24-hour tire shop right off the interstate on Claiborne. Now, if you're going through New Orleans, it's 2 o'clock in the morning and you got a flat, this was the only place to get your tire repaired. And I've been there many a times. I never got bothered. But they seized this property. Now, this property is right on Claiborne, close to the French Quarter, another $1 million property, potential $1 million property. Then yesterday they took another tire shop right on the Orleans. This line here is the Orleans Parish. It's right on the Orleans Parish line in Algiers. And then they took a shotgun double that the same guy owned. I think it was next door or something like that. So they seized 6 properties, or actually 7, and all of them were small businesses. And this is a trend that's starting. Now, the asset forfeiture laws are pretty old. They've been on the books, but they're starting to utilize them now because these big real estate developers, this is all $1 million properties. Right here on North Claiborne, off the interstate, right here on Aberville Street, this 2-story, the old London Lodge Motel, right off Airline Highway, which is all big, and Tulane Avenue, big money places. And then this place in Algiers, which is right off the interstate, they got plans for this. They're going to build something there. And this is the thing. They don't want a small business selling tires. They want a big corporation like Firestone. They don't want these small bodega type stores. They want 7-Elevens and these big corporation stores they open, these big chain stores they opening all over. They got buyers for all these properties. And the district attorney in Orleans Parish is utilizing the old asset forfeiture law so he can auction these properties off to the highest bidder and make money off of the deal. And it's not right. He's targeting small businesses because he can get away with that for now. And next is going to be private residents. Actually, the one yesterday did include a private resident, a shotgun double that was right next door to here. So it's a disturbing trend in Orleans Parish. They are seizing small businesses. They want big corporations coming in. This is what I keep talking about. I keep talking about this. That in a couple of years, like, in another 20 years, you're only going to have 1-2 large parent corporations that own all these smaller companies. And every business that you see is going to be owned by 1 or 2 of those large parent companies through a subsidy, and it's going to be like Firestone Tire Shop. It's going to be the Starvin Marvin type 7-Eleven stores. This is going to the hospital, and here's another tire shop. They're going to put the 7-Eleven. Some Firestone type shop there. They just want big corporations running, and it's the state police, but it's also the district attorney in Orleans Parish. So the state police are doing the raids, and they're using the district attorney in Orleans Parish to file out the paperwork to do it right. So, this is probably coming from the new governor, and it's just being stepped down to the local district attorney. But it's very disturbing. He's targeting small businesses. And I keep talking about this. The era of the small business owners is over. It's over with in America. It's going to be all large corporations, and next it's going to be private residents being seized. And you're not going to own your own property in the future. Some large hedge fund is going to own all the private residents one day when property taxes are too high and you can't afford insurance, and they start using these little violations and these old laws on the books to seize properties. They're going to start pushing people out of areas, and they're going to start allowing these large hedge funds to start purchasing all private residents. So that's coming next. So what you're seeing today is the small business owner who owns their property, because if they didn't own these properties, they would have just went to the landlord and forced these people out. But they actually own these properties, these small business owners, and they're going around and they seizing them using asset forfeiture laws, inciting stuff like tall grass and litter and arrests that happen within 1,000 feet of this place. So it's a very disturbing trend, and it's the beginning of the end of the small business owner in the United States, at least in New Orleans.